Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of the Trivia 10. Today, I'm joined with Mr. Josiah Coops of the Unoriginal Screenplay Podcast, Movie Talk, all kinds of good stuff. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's a privilege to be here, Tyler. You're doing a great job with this, so
I appreciate it. Well, we'll see how you can do. This is episode 6. Of course, new episodes are every Tuesday and Friday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But looking at the leaderboard so far, we have Harry with that monster score in first place at 115 points. Then we range all the way down to Ethan, currently in last place with 50 points. But we're having 20 contestants on the season. 16 will be making the playoffs. So at this point, if you can score over a 90 on this quiz, you're already locked into playoff position. But those are some high scores. Really have no clue what a good score is yet in the season. We're still too early on into it. We'll say anything over 100, I'm very surprised about, like Harry getting the 115. Crazy score. But let's see how you do today. Question 1 is multiple choice. Wanda and Pietro are from where? Sokovia, Slovakia, Wachovia, or Siberia?
That would be Sokovia, if I'm correct.
You are correct. 5 points on the board. You're 1 for 1. So you were getting the momentum building early. Next, we have another multiple choice question. What is the name of John Legend and Ryan Gosling's band in La La Land? Is it Chicken on a Stick, The Challengers, Keith and the Crew, or The Messengers?
I'm so glad this is multiple choice, or I would not have got this, but I'm pretty sure it's Chicken on a Stick. It rings a bell.
It does ring a bell, but that's not because it's the right answer.
No.
The Messengers is the right answer. Chicken on a Stick is what he wanted to name his jazz club when Emma Stone decided Sebs would be a better option. But yep, stumped up on that one. Going on to real trivia now. No more multiple choice. But yeah, Chicken on a Stick. I was good stumper thrown in there because yes, La La Land. It will be something that rings a bell for sure. Your favorite movie, had to get it in here. After Paul Blart gets in a fight, he heals an arm wound with a Band-Aid featuring which cartoon character?
I think this is Hello Kitty. I better not be wrong.
You are not wrong. Your credibility is maintained for Paul Blart being the loudest, most vocal Paul Blart stan in the world. Hello Kitty is correct.
I'm a believer. Let's make Paul Blart 3. I couldn't have done what Alex Coleman did with Dark of the Moon in season 1. I needed to get this one right. So
absolutely. Yeah. You're so vocal about Paul Blart. You had to get that one.
Exactly.
Moving on to the next question. You have 15 points so far. To avenge his father's murder in The Princess Bride, Montoya is searching for a man with what distinguishing feature?
He has a 6th finger.
You are absolutely correct. 6 fingers is the right answer there. You came in, you were nervous for no reason. You were ready to dominate this quiz. 25 points so far, just the one slip up on multiple choice. Next question here. What is the name of the island where Jurassic Park is located?
Oh, that's wow. I don't even think I have a thought right now. Oh, it's really going to annoy me. I literally have no idea. This is really bad. The lights are getting too bright. I can't think. I've got absolutely nothing. My mind's blank. I'm sorry, Tyler. I'm gonna have to skip it. I've got nothing.
No worries. No shame in that whatsoever. Isla Nublar is the correct answer. Yeah. So you're at 25 points, though, through the first half of the quiz. But the back half is really where you start picking up the points. That's where the big, heavy-hitting questions are. So we're going on to now our first matching game. That's going to be box office edition. So I'm going to give you 3 movies, and I'm going to tell you what the budgets and box offices were of each. You have to tell me which was which. And the 3 movies we got are Hunger Games Catching Fire, Dune, the first one, and then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We have a budget of $165 million that made $435 million, a budget of $130 million that made $865 million, and a budget of $90 million that made $384 million. So where's your mind going? What's your first thoughts right now?
Straight away, I'm thinking Catching Fire might be the big one. I think it made a lot of money. And I would have gone loads of times if I was old enough. I'm like 13, everyone. But the other 2 are tough. No. You know what? I'm feeling okay. I think Catching Fire is number 2. I want to lock that one in. Then I'm going to go Dune as the first one. And I think Spider-Verse is number 3.
Well, that is perfectly done. 2, 1, and 3. You are correct. 15 points on the board. We're back on the winning side of history. You got that matching game perfectly. We're going into our second matching game now, though, and this is a Rotten Tomatoes edition. So I'm going to give you 3 movies and the Rotten Tomatoes stats for each. You got to tell me which one's which. We got The Hangover, Insomnia, and Zombieland for a 79 critics, 84 audience, 89 critics, 86 audience, and 92 critics and 77 audience. Where's your head at here?
This one's. I don't think my head's anywhere right now. I haven't looked at Insomnia ever on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, I don't look at many films on Rotten Tomatoes, but I have a feeling it could be number 2. Oh, but actually, I'm going to play this smart. I'm going to look how many times people have logged it.
Fun fact, I was waiting for someone to finally do that because that is a hidden little bit at the bottom. It's how many reviews and ratings. It's a little hard to see. It's small, but I've been waiting for someone on this to start trying to look at that as opposed to just the overall scores.
The big numbers. Oh. Well,
they are pretty close on these ones.
Yeah,
so there's not a whole lot of distinction.
The 100,000 plus audience is now making me think maybe that one's Insomnia, but it could be Zombieland because it's still Nolan. I'm gonna say Hangover's number 1. You know what? I think it's in order. No, I don't. I'm gonna go Hangover number 1, Insomnia number 3, Zombieland number 2.
Another perfect matching game. And folks that are going to be on this Trivia 10, use what he did and study that because I think that Insomnia locked it in for you being the least logged with 100,000 plus.
I would have done the other way.
I've honestly, I was going to throw that out to people, say like, oh, maybe look at that. But I'm like, no, I want to see who the first person is to bring up how many ratings each has. Because I do throw that in every one. And that was genius work by Josiah. We're not 55 points right now. You're doing incredibly well with 3 questions left. Going on to question number 8, there's going to be 2 correct answers here. So you're going to get 10 points for each answer you get correct. The question is, only 2 MCU movies have ever won an Oscar of any kind. What are the 2 movies of all the MCU films to win an Oscar of any sorts?
Oh, man. Well, Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture, I think, but it obviously didn't win. It's got to be like a costume one or a visual effects one. Did Wakanda? I can't remember if Wakanda Forever or Everything Everywhere All at Once won it last year. No, I do think I'm going to go with Wakanda Forever for costumes last year as one. And then, the second one. I'm just going to throw out Infinity War just for anything.
Well, you did get one right. You were right with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, the one win for costume. Then Black Panther did win 3 Oscars for costume, score, production design. So both the Black Panther films, the only 2 to ever win an Oscar, but plenty of MCU films have been nominated, especially in visual effects. There's been a ton of them that have been nominated, but those are the only 2 winners. Got 10 points there, and you're at 65. So right now, in terms of the leaderboard, you're already tied for 4th at this point. So you're in a great position here with 2 questions left. So you're doing well. Going on to question number 9, which is going to be Ride the Bus. Going to give you a Letterboxd movie, the average rating, Mitchells versus the Machines at a 3.9. You have to tell me if the next one's higher or lower. We're going to go for 4 total movies and see how far you can make it. First movie, Titanic. Is it above or below a 3.9 average on Letterboxd?
I mean, initially I just thought higher, and I can't see it being. I'll say higher. I think it might be a 4.
Unfortunately, a tricky one. Surprisingly, a 3.8 for Titanic, which I just think is absolutely sacrilegious.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy curveball, Titanic. Next was Mamma Mia, which would have been lower. I, Tonya, which was higher. And finally, Priscilla, which was lower. But you get 0 points there. You're still in a good spot here going into the Guess the Cast to see if you can get pushed up higher on that leaderboard. But you're at 65 points going into the final question. And of course, 1 by 1 cast member is going to be revealed. You're going to get 1 guess per cast member. First cast member going to be revealing is Margot Robbie. If you get it right here, you get 40 points. If you get it wrong, no worries. We're moving on to the next cast member for 30 points.
Tyler, you know I like About Time. You know I like About Time. I don't know if I want to just check it out there, but that was instantly what I thought. But she's in some like rogue stuff. She's in like Peter Rabbit 2. She could be. I think she's in like a weird Tarzan movie, but it would feel wrong if I didn't guess About Time, and it was. So I'm going to say About Time.
We have the first person to get it on the first cast member in this season. About Time took to episode 6, About Time, pun intended, that we're getting to someone getting it on the first cast member. 40 points headed your way. Incredible pull. About Time. I used to always say it was my number 1 favorite movie of all time. I think La La Land's eked it out a little bit, but I mean, it's still obviously one of my favorites of all time. And Margot Robbie, obviously a character. A lot of people forget that she was even in the movie. Then Vanessa Kirby, Bill Nye, Rachel McAdams probably would have gave it away for you.
I would have got it on Vanessa Kirby if I didn't get it at Margot.
For sure, for sure. So 40 points, that puts you at 105. So I think anyone over 100 is in an incredible spot. So at 105, you're going to be in second place now, which means you're already locked into the playoffs. So you're already going to be back on the show coming back in a couple months when the playoffs actually kick off. You're going to go head-to-head with someone. We'll have to see who your opponents are going to end up being. But brilliant work. You came in nervous. You did great. Only missed a multiple choice question, one of the trivia questions for Jurassic Park, and getting out right away and ride the bus. Only one of the 2 answer ones. But even with all those fumbles, you're still at 105. Brilliant work. How you feel about your performance today?
Yeah, way better than I thought. I was ready for a Hall of Famer, like bad performance, but locked in. I had my foot on a stress ball the whole time, so that might have helped. I was, but I'm happy. I'm really happy, and I'm excited to see who I end up going against.
Yeah, before I click record on these episodes, pretty much everyone comes in here and they're like, I'm so nervous, I'm going to make a fool of myself. And everyone just does fine. You just got to breathe, go through the quiz. It's all based on movies you've watched, and you did incredibly well. So a great showing for Josiah. Check out his TikTok, Letterboxd, his podcast. All the links are going to be in the description down below. But incredible work. We will see you again in the playoffs. New episodes are going to be every Tuesday and Friday, as we still have a lot of ways to go in this regular season before we get to those playoffs. But Josiah is going to be there. We'll see who else is going to be there. Thank you so much for joining, Josiah. I hope you have a good Saturday night ahead of you, and we will see you on the next episode.